Hey you guys, this week's video is not going to be a fun video. I've been saying the last few, this happens every time, in the last few videos that I was going to explain how I lost my dad and the situation with that, and I'm going to go ahead and do that in this video. I have something I'm going to read that I wrote a couple weeks after he died. But I want to explain this first. I was not expecting to lose my dad at all. I don't know if I'm going to cry in this video. I'm going to try not to, but you know, and if you see my camera moving like it is now, it's because, of course, my cat is messing with the tripod. Please stop. But I wasn't expecting to lose my dad for a very long time. My dad was probably the healthiest person I know. He did everything right. It just, you know, wasn't supposed to happen. So it's hard to lose somebody so close to you like that and feel like they're just gone and you can't talk to them. So I got this journal and I write to him. I know he's not reading it. I don't believe what most people believe. Why? We're Seventh-day Adventists, and I believe something different. Here's some comic relief to the video. Would you please stop? We believe that when people die, they're dead until God comes back and comes and gets everybody. So the whole he's in a better place and all that stuff is just not something that I believe in. I don't believe he's watching over me or anything like that. He's sleeping. He doesn't know what's going on, and quite frankly, that's more comforting to me. I don't like that for him to be able to watch over us, because he would just see us suffer every day. He would see Mom cry every single day just talking about him. So yeah, but this is the journal I got. It says, "Fear not, for I am with you." It's a Bible verse, but I just thought it was really fitting, and I do write to him in it, and I can find where it's at. Sorry. I wrote a lot more than I thought I did, I guess. Okay, I found it. It is kind of long, but it explains everything, really. So I may have to stop this video a few times if I start crying, because I don't like crying in front of people. Or, well, I'm not really in front of anybody, but knowing that someone will watch this, I'm just that kind of person. But anyway, we have someone listening right here beside me. Anyway, let me put this back down. Friday, July 7th, 2017. Normal Friday. I get home from work and call home to talk to Mom and Dad like any Friday night. Sabbath, although I haven't necessarily practiced it like I should have for the last several years. I decided to watch The Prince of Egypt. It was random, but I think my sister Katie told me it was on Netflix. I cried watching it. I felt suddenly so close to God and like I had gone back in time. This movie was one of the few my sister and I were allowed to watch during the Sabbath, and I enjoyed that feeling again. Saturday, July 8th, 2017. Tyler's birthday. My husband. The day starts off normal. He has to go to work, and when he gets back, we start deciding what exactly we want to do for his birthday. He wanted to mow the grass before it rained the following week. I took a shower and started to get ready for the birthday celebration we would have, just him and I. He came inside and sat on the bed and told me to sit down beside him. Once I did, he looked me in the eyes and said, "Your dad had a massive heart attack and he didn't make it." My world immediately went black. I remember I started hyperventilating. I couldn't breathe. I just screamed and cried, and my mind was running through 1,000 questions. But the main thought was, this has to be a bad dream. This isn't real. The rest of the day was a blur. I remember calling home and talking to Mom very briefly. What she said ripped my heart to shreds, and hearing her so broken absolutely killed me. I remember my sister texting me the details because no one could possibly say the words out loud. And I felt myself break again. We packed our bags and left the following morning for Salisbury. Walking into the house and only seeing my sister and my mom just solidified the truth. The following days consisted of being around family I don't get to see very much, lots of phone calls, people visiting and bringing food, and planning the funeral. I remember walking into a room with caskets on display like purses. I can't explain how awful it is to see something like that, especially when none of it felt real. It still doesn't. Deciding on flowers, music, guest books, photos, visitations, decisions, how his crypt will be marked, the list went on. I hadn't physically seen my father since May, and I never ever would have thought the next time I would see him would be in a casket. I held his hand for a long time. I tried to make his hands warm. I kissed him. I hugged him. I can't explain the feeling one has when looking at a parent in that way, especially far too young. You only know the feeling when it has happened to you. I was oddly comforted being there with him, though, and almost felt like he wasn't gone in a way because I could physically see him. Touch him, talk to him. I stared at him for a long time. I will never be able to unsee that. The visitation was nice. I heard lots of good stories about what a great man my dad is, which, of course, I already knew that. The funeral was actually on the 6-month anniversary of Tyler and I getting married, with the day my dad died also being on Tyler's birthday. I have a lot of dates that connect in my life. The funeral was beautiful and heartfelt. His favorite gospel singer was able to make a special trip to sing several songs. But funerals for children are not a happy celebration. They make you feel like you're saying goodbye forever. And that was the longest and most traumatic week of my life. I made a promise to him, even though he doesn't know it, that I'll be better. I struggled the last month because I blame myself for his death. I know that isn't how this works, but I did, and a part of me still does. I strayed away from the church so long, I abandoned my faith and let it dry up. He was always praying for me and encouraging me to be better and to have a better relationship with God. The night I watched Prince of Egypt, something stirred up inside of me, and the next day my father died suddenly. To me, it felt like I had finally opened my eyes up to honestly repairing my faith, and because of that, my dad didn't have to worry about us anymore. I was the last lost sheep. I had finally come home, and his job was done. Again, I know that isn't how this works, but at the time it really felt like it was. When someone so healthy and as good as a human can be, who regularly tests for heart issues because he does this for a living as it is, to be gone so fast from a heart attack. It doesn't make sense. I know it is the devil. God wouldn't take someone like my dad out of nowhere. But it is hard, as a human, not to try to make sense of something so unexplained. I felt like I was the reason. I know I sound crazy. I have been reading a devotional each morning. It's actually the most recent one my dad was reading. The bookmark is there on the day he died. That alone is a testimony to how faithful he was to his relationship. I plan on organizing a plan to read the Bible in its entirety again. It has been so many years and I need to revive. As depressed as I have been, and as hard as it is to find something positive in such a terrible situation, it has put things in a perspective for me. The first time I got married, when I was 18, I had considered myself agnostic. I did for years because I didn't want to just accept what I was told all my life as truth. I needed to believe it on my own, but I didn't water the grass and let it grow. I was in a wreck a few years ago that I probably shouldn't have made it out of. That is when I started to believe again and turn to God. But even then, I didn't keep my grass watered. I'll be better, and I'm mending my faith. It has helped in comforting me through a lot of this and bring me closer to my mother and sister. That is a huge positive to this. I needed to get this out in writing because it somehow releases some of the pain. I know I have rambled for about 30 minutes now, and I'm sorry to those of you still reading. I do have a point. No matter what happens to you in life, no matter who you have lost, no matter how lost you feel, you can get through it. It may not feel okay immediately. It may not feel okay for a very long time. But at some point it will get easier. I certainly don't feel okay, and I don't expect to for a while. Right now I feel that dark cloud hanging over me all the time because all I can think about is the absence of my father. I know one day that dark cloud won't constantly cling to me. I also know some days that cloud will have lightning and rain. But I have faith that eventually this cloud will move out of the way on most days and let the sun shine on me and let me feel happiness like my dad would want. It is important to keep fighting, even when you feel like you don't have anything left in you. Trust me, I know the feeling. I feel guilty anytime I'm able to feel happy, but I refuse to let this completely swallow me whole. Some days I let the waves crash relentlessly, but most days I try to fight back. I tell myself that I deserve happiness, I deserve to live a happy life, and I should be thankful for all that I've had and still have. I will tell every person that wants to hear about my dad every story I can think of and smile when I think of him. I know that there will be hard days, but I have to remember what my mom and dad want for me, and I have to work towards that. One day we will be reunited. I so look forward to that day. But for now, I have to make every day count, and I have to let the sun shine. We can all let the sun shine, I promise. I knew I was going to cry. I didn't know, but I had a feeling, so I've been putting it off. Like I said at the beginning of this, I know I said for a while I would explain, and a big part of it is healing for me. Writing helps. I'm not the best writer or anything like that. It just getting it out helps, and somehow speaking it out loud too in a very honest way, like what I wrote, is healing too. Like I said, I don't like to cry in front of people. I'll do it when I'm alone. But crying helps me heal. It's like a physical release. But anyway, that is what I wrote. One of the things I wrote, and kind of explains everything. And as some of you may know, I got pregnant about a week and some change after he passed. It was not planned. I know some people say when you lose somebody, you gain someone. I don't know if I believe that. But this just really feels like a gift. It's meant to heal my family, and I prayed and just want everything to be healthy, and we just want a healthy baby. But I've been, selfishly hoping the whole time it's a boy, because I've always wanted a boy. But I really wanted to name him after my dad. And I can, because he's a boy. So this baby is going to be really special to everybody. This is a longer video than I usually make, and I hope, even if it's somebody that's not subscribed to me, I'm not going to ask for y'all to subscribe to me in this video or anything like that. I just hope maybe if somebody's watching this that needs to see it, I hope it helps somebody. I know that first month, even after losing somebody like that, is so, you don't want to do anything. You just want to crawl under a rock. I hope this helps somebody like that. And I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see you later.